All right. All right. Shay, looks like everybody stayed. We're looking out into the crowd of the listeners, and nobody left on this one. That just proves my point. You're interesting. It's fun to talk to you. Welcome back, Shay Moulder, to the Jeremiah Show. Tim Edgeworth from Cover Me says of Shay Moulder's I'm Your Man. It's a magical creation with a bass drum, a trumpet, and accordion, and it paints an evocative backdrop to the ukulele and vocals. My special guest again today is Shay Moulder. We are listening to right now Sales Pitch, another brilliantly crafted song with a story. I don't know what it says, but I wouldn't mess with Shay. Hi, Shay. Welcome back.
Hi. Thanks for having me back again.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. Describe to me. Well, actually, let's do this first. Do you remember the moment when you realized that you could make it in life with music? You could make music your life, that it wasn't just a dream.
Yeah, okay. So, I was busking and I was doing a lot of street performance with just uh my little resonator uke. Um, and I made enough money in that day where it was the same amount of money that I was making at an office job that I had quit like the year before. And it was like it was the worst struggle. It was like I'm going to do street performance. I'm going to like sell my art online. I am going to quit a job that was very secure and comforting, but that was causing me like extreme emotional distress, um and also making me question things that I was doing morally. I left that job. I made the same amount of money in one day doing street performance that I did at that job. And I remember that day and I remember counting out the money and being like very shocked at the amount of money that I had made. And I looked at it and I went, I can do it. Like I can do this. I can do this. And I feel like I still think about that day where I calculated how much I was making and what I was doing instead. And I thought about my happiness. And I thought, I know I won't get days like this all the time, but I have this one day and I can hold on to this knowing that um, people appreciated what I was doing enough to give to me freely, because they valued what I did. And that for me is that somebody valued that enough. Um, and I thought, then I can do it.
What a
Yeah.
great story. Now, I hear a lot from musicians that say, I love it. I love it so much. That's all I want to do, but I'm not going to make a living at it. And they give up before they start, but they're tortured every single day. And it seems to me that if you want it bad enough, even if it's busking, even if it's doing a single here or there that makes a little money to pay the rent, at least you should do it, right? It's in you. If it's in you and you can't imagine living without it, try it. Your story right there is a perfect example. How do you approach your career as an artist, just as purely as an artist, not the business side?
I Well, I try to approach it with tact and authenticity. You know, um, I just try to make what comes natural to me and try to take a lot of notes. I think I have a lot of binders full of things that I know will never see the light of day, that are going to be recycled lyrics at some point somewhere. um, just continually take notes on what you're doing. And I try not to, um, I think one of the worst things that will happen is when you're being creative is that you will stifle creativity because you will have expectations on what you're supposed to be making. And so when you hear it and it doesn't meet up to what you're doing, you'll want to trash it and do it again. You want to trash it and do it again. And what if that's not, what if that is just generally not the trajectory that your creation is taking form? You have to respect whatever it's going to turn into, whether you 100% thought that was what it was going to be in the first place. You know, stopping yourself before you see what gets created can really damage who you are, I think, as an artist, having these expectations you might not be able to make. And it's taken a lot of working with other people to teach me that. Because something that they like that I'm like, oh, that sounds, I don't like that. No, I don't like what I did. They'll be like, oh, that's good. They're hearing it with different ears. You have to respect that other people will hear or see what you do, and that they might like it where you see flaws.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. And nothing's ever finished. It shouldn't be, right? I mean, there's no such thing as perfection. And if you just you might kill it, kill what you.
100%. There's a Devo interview where I think they're interviewing, I think it's Mark Mothersbaugh. He's talking about just like the amount of time that I'll make it small, I'll make it concise, but he's talking about the amount of time that some bands spend re-recording one riff, doing one thing again and again and again, where like you're gonna overwork it. Just get it done, get it out, get it finished, and see if you like it. Trying to perfect something kills what you could be making, um, in the future. Like you just put so much time into one thing, make it and send it out there.
Yeah. Okay. Here's where I could take that break that I'm supposed to break at the right time, right now. I could be okay. We'd be safe. But
Oh my
I have to have
goodness.
a follow-up question. So let's do 2 more minutes. I'm going to go 2 minutes over here. If you can answer it in 2 minutes. So now you've described how you approach your career as an artist. How do you approach your career as a business person? Because you are both. Shay Moulder is both. She's booking her tour. She's creating the albums and everything else that goes along with it. How do you switch? Because it's two different brains for sure. And it sounds like your artist is where you feel natural. How hard is it to switch hats and become the business person?
I think that when you are a musician and like you want somebody to like you, you will make sacrifices for the sake of um, feeling like you are connecting with people, feeling like you are playing that show that you really want to make, and you will take shows that do not pay you enough. You will make those sacrifices, and it's really a learning curve working for yourself and booking shows because you will take these shows, but there is a large responsibility in not taking them. And as a big as a business person, you have to weigh, well, if I'm doing this independently and I'm traveling this long to get there and I'm playing for this amount of time and then I'm coming back the gas, like you have to factor everything in on whether something's worth it. And that can be the difficulty, is balancing. I want people to like me. I want the exposure. I really want to play this place, but also will I be out um, financially in doing this? And will it garner the respect as a business and as a person you deserve? Because a lot of musicians are not standing up for themselves and getting that respect that they deserve for providing entertainment and an enjoyable situation and a service.
And people will pay for you if they see, and they appreciate you. They will pay for that. They will. It's your brand all the way through. So you got to look at the big picture, the long run, right? You've got to look at how will this affect me today if I take this at this really bad club and there's no sound and no light and it's no one's listening. How will that reflect versus do I need to put some money in my pocket?
Yep.
That's great advice, I think, for a young artist. Okay, I'm going to take that break real quickly here. We're going to come right back for a final segment. We're going to hear about the tour dates that Shay has coming up, and we're going to premiere her new song. And also, I want to give you Shay can tell us how you can get in contact with her. She teaches music, and what a great teacher he is. You can tell she's really got um, a good outlook on music and well spoken. So Shay Moulder, she's a singer and songwriter. She's my special guest today. Her new single, Oildale, is coming up after the break. So don't go anywhere. Go to shaymolder.com and we will be right back.